to Coffee Break. We are your hosts, Annie,
Corey,
and Hannah.
Today we are going to talk about the good and the bad of 2017, and we will also talk about what's going on at the school as well as what's going on in the world.
Today we'll be introducing our guests, America Cruz.
Hi.
And Rosario.
Hi.
They are our guests and they're representatives of Henry Coffee Co. of Fort Smith. And they'll just be here just adding in opinions. Hey! First subject we'll be talking about.
The goods and the bad of 2017.
Good or bad?
We're going to start off with the bad.
Okay.
Okay, so first bad. Eyebrows. The whole eyebrow thing. That was just not okay.
What part?
The whole squiggly eyebrow.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I like the braided eyebrows.
Okay, those were okay, but I mean, like, not something you should do, like, all the time.
No, I wouldn't go out with eyebrows like that.
Like, maybe for, like, a picture?
If it looks like you have a river on your forehead, that's not good.
I look naturally.
I like them. I thought they were creative. I mean, I wouldn't wear them to work or school, but, like, for the pictures, I like them.
I think that, like, that was a big trend last year to, like, go out of bounds and start doing stuff. There were nose hair extensions. Did not enjoy those. Those are bad. Like,
really?
Yes.
Speaking of Coachella, like, and when everyone was doing, like, the whole glitter beard and, like...
Yeah, and
I
they wouldn't
love that, honestly.
The glitter beards?
At least.
I like the glitter, but, like, it got to the point where they weren't even wearing clothes, and they just covered themselves up with glitter, and that was it. Like,
I think that's cool, though, like, honestly.
I think
but
that's
that,
cool.
for public,
Acid.
like,
I think I
like,
would do
yeah,
that.
for the festival, it was, like, fitting, but for, like, to go out in public and...
Yeah, maybe not to, like, do it, like, an everyday thing, maybe just, like, for a festival or like you said, but...
I can understand Coachella.
Do you think people, like, had squiggly eyebrows daily?
Yeah.
Like, they just wore them out in the public?
Did you have to, like, cut your eyebrows for it? Like, did you have to trim
No, you have to, like, kind of wax
But I
or
mean,
cut
just doing your
and-
eyebrows normal takes a long time. Imagine doing them, like, creative, like, how long that would take.
Not only
I
that,
don't
you
know.
have
I
to-
don't think I would do that.
When you give your opinion, America, you kind of sound like if you were, like, the nice judge.
I'm just being honest. Like, I really liked it.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be real.
It's just how I feel. So squiggly eyebrows, yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay.
I guess.
We persuaded her.
Another bad thing we'll go in is dabbing and fidget spinners.
Put them together. Okay.
Yeah.
That was so
I
terrible.
mean, they kind of go together if you think
Do
about
they,
it.
though?
They were
Yes.
dabbing with fidget spinners, like,
Everything
together.
bad in 2017 goes together.
Yeah.
True. Okay. I just think it was, like, too much. Like, it was, like, when first people started, like, dabbing stuff, it was like, oh, that guy is cool. And then, like, everyone started doing it. It was, like,
Please stop.
like,
And then
dab
you
when
go
you
into,
sneeze.
like,
Dab when you don't want to talk. Dab when, like, it was just, like,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
we
And you
even
go
had
into-
little kids tapping which was like...
Going to elementary school, it's just like 17 kids all in one corner dabbing.
Yeah.
My little brother, he dabbed when he got his, like, kindergarten graduation thing.
No.
Yeah, like, right up there on stage, he just, like, yeah, just like that.
No, and I've seen, like, videos. There's this one that's, like, a kid, and he's in a church. And, like, they're zooming in on him, and he sees the camera looking straight at him, and he dabs, like, in the middle of the church. It's...
Praise Jesus.
I think that's something that should end.
And those fidget spinners, I think till this day we don't really know how they work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
don't-
broken like
'cause, like-
17 of them.
Oh my
Trying to do
goodness.
tricks.
I've broken like 2.
How can you even do tricks with fidget
You
spinners?
don't.
Like,
They fall and they
I had a
break.
fidget spinner get stuck in my hair.
I know the light.
There was someone who was chasing me around with the fidget spinner while it was spinning and, like, got it stuck in my... Oh, I hit my ear. Got it stuck in my hair. And, yeah, so it, like, ripped part of my hair out, but we had to take apart the fidget spinner. Yeah, I hit my ear really hard.
no, and they started giving out for a school group that we had. They gave us fidget spinners. Like the business we went to gave us fidget spinners, and they had their logo and everything.
Oh, me.
They're like, this is what the teens
Try-
are into.
I'm with the kiddos spins.
Yeah, gross.
And we were promised pop sockets, but we never got those.
Oh, dang. Pop sockets are better than fidget spinners, honestly.
Fidget spinners, yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay.
Dabbing, yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay.
Maybe.
I mean,
I still dab, ironically.
But it's like to the point. There's like a point where it's like there's a line and you don't cross it.
I agree, yeah. So, nay in that perspective. Azaria?
Nay.
Okay. We all horses. Okay. Paul Brothers.
Let's just.
They were made to
Leave a
be
moment.
like way bigger than what they should have been. You know what I mean?
What? Right?
Like everyone like made them out to be like so great, so wonderful, like so big. It's just like it got old fast. Especially when that one, I don't know which one it was. One of them came out with a song or something.
That was Jake Paul.
I thought they both did.
Well, Jake Paul did the one that was like
The something Everyday Bro.
Everyday Bro.
That one was-
that Disney Channel, bro.
That was trash.
I had not heard it.
I don't really know much about them.
Panera is your home.
I know
So
what
stop
they did.
calling my phone in the house or something like that. It was like just I don't get it. I just
What about you, Corey? What do you think?
I like music.
Oh my
you liked it?
I like Everyday Bro.
Oh, why?
Just because it's funny. I watch YouTube for comedy.
Okay, but if you like were listening to that like on the radio, would that be something that you just want to listen to listen to?
Well, I listen to Taylor Swift. Isn't that the same thing?
No.
No.
I don't like Taylor Swift.
Hold
Big
up.
negative, big negative
Wait
right there.
a minute. There's a
Like,
big.
I don't like that
difference.
last one, the one where she's like, "Oh, the old Taylor can't on the phone right now."
That's what I'm talking about. That
She
Taylor.
did.
I don't like that one. I can't stand that one. But
Like What
any
You
of her
Made
other
Me
songs,
Do.
Yeah.
all her other songs, her older songs especially, like love them.
Oh, old
I like
Taylor's
her new
dead,
one with
so it doesn't matter.
Ed Sheeran. Just
Yeah.
like
Oh
that
my
one.
gosh, yes, I
Endgame.
love it too. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a really good song.
Anyway, but personally, them as people.
Oh, as people know, I think they probably should have stuck to Vine.
I think they had.
couldn't
Even though it
stick to
died.
Vine, it died.
Yeah, they should have stuck to Vine.
They should have died with it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. They somehow got really big for how such like horrible people they are.
Yeah.
First time seeing colors, you guys.
The way YouTube
I
works.
honestly believe that one.
I did too, and then I was like watched a parody of it. And I was like, he was joking. Oh my god, like
That was so messed up. I
Yeah.
honestly did believe.
I felt really bad at that. Like,
Yeah.
The way YouTube works, they basically reward people with views whenever they make bad videos that get like publicity.
Like people eating Tide Pods.
that's still a thing, and like they ain't taking those off YouTube fast enough.
Is
People
that
are
like
still
a
doing
challenge?
it? It's still
I
a
think
challenge.
the word Tide Pod is
Tide-
banned on YouTube.
They're getting rid of them.
Tide has
Yeah.
announced that they're not making them anymore.
Yeah.
February 1st, they're stopping production of all Tide Pods.
What the
because
heck? My
they're-
grandma uses those. She's not gonna be very happy.
But I mean, they don't want to, like, I understand.
I
They
mean,
don't
it-
want to be involved.
With,
And
But that's like
since it's their product.
Then they're gonna be like looking for like.
they're
some
gonna be
old Tide
taking.
Pods.
They're gonna be taking the powder and just like swallowing it whole
Don't they
because
still have a liquid form?
they
Yeah,
do have
they-
yeah.
liquid form.
Just package those.
Yeah, but what's that?
I
whole
bet
thing
you
about?
people-
Like, what's the
What
challenge?
they should
about?
do.
it's like the whole like cinnamon challenge. Like you really like you shouldn't be able to do it, but,
But you
like
just
So you swallow that little plastic too?
Yep.
The
Yeah.
liquid?
It dissolves it. Like it's supposed to dissolve.
no, but I bet you people right now, before it stops production, they're gonna be buying, stocking up, and once it's over, they're gonna be selling it like on eBay or like
That's
something like
smart,
that
though.
for
True.
a lot of money.
That isn't smart.
It's smart for the people to
It's-
make
your
the
grandma's
money.
gonna be
It's smart
buying
for making
my
Tide
grandma,
Pods.
she is, don't even play. She's always that's the first thing on her grocery list every time we go shopping for her at Tide Pods.
Start stocking up for her, man. Like
You gotta
tell
tell
her. Like,
Tide
Grandma,
Pods.
they're getting rid. I'm gonna text her right now.
well, like they put out a statement and it was like, them like they put out a video. It's like, do you eat Tide Pods? And it's like, no, and it's like, you had to be very obvious with it to tell people it's not a snack. It says it on the container, not a snack. And like there have been multiple deaths from it, and just now they're putting out statements and being like, production is stopping. You're idiots. Please leave. This.
Honestly, it's survival of the fittest. If you're dumb enough to eat a Tide Pod, you're
Yeah.
dumb enough to just.
I wonder who
go.
came up with
More like
this.
natural selection.
Yeah,
honestly.
naturally.
Yeah, I text my grandma. Yo.
What did you say?
I told her. I said they're gonna stop making Tide Pods. You might want to stock.
So we're getting a little off topic. Paul Brothers, yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay.
So, I'll turn back to Tide Pods, I guess, since we are interested in that.
I mean,
Aren't all teenagers though?
No.
I think at this point, it should be used just as a joke. It shouldn't be taken further. So, like, honestly, if a company started making, like, fake Tide Pods, they'd sell out. Because
Yeah, that's what
I
they
don't
need to
think
do.
they should go-
They
they
need to
need-
make like candy Tide Pods.
I think there have been instances where like food channels have made like candy Tide Pods or whatever.
And I actually saw this recipe on how to
Oh,
make
I
them.
saw
Yeah.
There's a donut,
place that made
in
donut.
Fayetteville
Yeah,
that has a Tide Pod donut.
yeah. I saw that.
Hertz, I believe.
Hertz
oh my
donuts
god,
are nice.
that place. I almost died. I ate like so many donuts from there. I almost died.
They're
We bought
good.
24 donuts.
Yes.
Don't they have like a truck and like it like
Yes,
sometimes
it
comes
looks-
down here?
It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, donuts are good.
They are good.
I think that the company shouldn't go as far as to not make them anymore. Cause that's
I
kind of.
think they should.
But that's like the cinnamon challenge. Are you just gonna like get rid of cinnamon?
How many people
But
died
that's
from the cinnamon
different.
challenge?
Yeah. People actually died from this. And it's
Did
not
no
like...
one die from the cinnamon challenge?
No.
Like,
I think a couple
2 or
due
3
to like
people.
they couldn't breathe, like, you know.
Because
According to a news
'Cause they did
article,
too
in the
much.
first
They did too
15
much.
days of the year, Poison Control Center said that they have handled 39 cases of intentional
Yeah.
misuse among 13 to 19-year-olds.
Because they intentionally
see, this
eat
is
them,
all, like,
and they have
kids.
quality
And
control.
that's just in the beginning of the year. In the last of year 2017, they handled 53 cases.
Yeah, that's like double the usual amount in January, which is 39, and then 56. That's a whole bunch. That's people
Wow.
eating them,
Hey, but they were making money because people kept buying them for the challenge.
and then they had to be like
That's almost
responsible and
positive
issue a
in it.
statement.
Okay.
And like I saw a video this morning, and it was like a news video, and they were like eating Tide Pods, and what they do, like some of them just like bite them, and then like it gets in their mouth, and then they're just like, ugh, like that. But there are actually people who intentionally just like stuff it in their mouth and they swallow it, like.
Oh. I can't even swallow pills. Like
They do smell good.
You know what I
though.
mean? Like ibuprofen, I'm like, no way, man. Like
It's just like a difficult subject to talk about because people are dying from it. Like, and it could be considered suicide, but others it's just ignorance.
You know how there's the Chubby Bunny Challenge?
Okay, no.
hey, that one
who
was
has
cool
died?
though. Like that one.
No. What if there was something similar called the Full Washer Challenge?
It's like sticking Tide Pods in your mouth.
No.
I think we're trying to like not continue this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my fault I have bad ideas. So, let's go to a good.
Good. Okay.
Let's
Let's do it.
That's what's
Any goods?
Okay, but hold up. Look at this. There are hurricanes. I want to talk about that.
That's not
We're
good.
we're gonna do those at the end.
Okay, great. Okay.
Because they talk about good things also.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Honeybee numbers went up. That's wonderful.
That is amazing.
Because I love to put honey in my coffee. So.
It's because people are mass producing honey, and what they do is they put them in honey farms, basically, and it's just like a whole bunch of bees, and they don't really have a leader, and then they eventually just like die because they're not pollinating enough, they don't get enough like nutrients.
honestly, not to bring it into a bad tone, but there was this news article about how some teenagers had sprayed diesel on a whole bunch of honeybees, and they killed like 1,000 honeybees.
That's
they were
messed up.
I
Yeah.
think I heard about that.
It was
Was it in California?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
terrible, and I felt like I was so angry.
Were they honeybees or were they like
They were
like,
They were
honeybees.
honeybees.
like bumblebees?
Did
No, they were
Because they're
intentionally?
different.
They intentionally did it. Like they got diesel and sprayed it all over the bees. Yeah.
Honeybees.
I made it. That's really upsetting.
What else do you have, Corey?
The collision of 2 neutron stars. It's proving about a lot of stuff for science.
Mm-hmm.
It helped put some facts on the board about gravitational waves, which was helping trying to prove one of Einstein's theories.
Because some people still believe that the Earth is flat.
Let's talk about that.
Oh my god.
No, the Earth is not flat.
It's round.
We don't know.
It's round.
If you really
We
want to
don't
know
know.
why the Earth is round, I have like 15 videos. I think Bill Nye talks about it for like
If
5
Bill
minutes.
knows science guy, Bill. But if he says it, it's true.
Then
There
again,
we
he's
go.
an engineer and not really a scientist.
Okay, so
And
what do you have under
How
your
come
belt?
the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson was not the main character of that show?
Yeah, but I get frustrated when people say, "Oh, the Earth is flat," because
Who was it at our school?
Like,
Don't even.
don't
Person A.
Person
Person
A.
A believes
Person L.
that there's a person that our Earth is flat,
we can
and
believe
then
it.
person L believes that gravity's not a thing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, but one of the main not arguments for this, if the Earth is round and there are satellites in space, how come we don't see the satellites?
People have seen the satellites.
Exactly, but like in the pictures, and I was like, well, what do you think's taking the picture? Do you think there's a camera
We don't
taking a
see
picture of
them.
the satellite? Taking
It's like everything's fake.
oh my
If you use
goes into
like a telescope, you could probably see a satellite if you know exactly where it is.
Yeah, you can get those informations. Like you know where they're orbiting
The
because
only
they don't
reason-
really stray.
The only reason that they think the world is flat is because they don't have any way to tell that it's not, because they don't
Yeah.
ever try to look it up.
And there's been light streams from space, and they're going around in a circle. They're going this. They're not going this. How would a satellite even go? Like,
Well, see, another one of their arguments is that they say that the videos that we see are fake. Yeah, they're CGI.
oh my god.
But how do we know everything else isn't just CGI?
Exactly. Like, it makes no sense. Why put so much effort into this?
How do we know that the hurricanes aren't just like
Oh,
somebody
have you heard
using
about
their
that?
finger?
Have you heard about that? That the reason we had such bad weather is because they were testing out the weather machine or whatever. That, like,
HARP.
Yeah.
HAAR.
That is stupid.
I believe in that. Like
I
I,
sort of
believe
believe
that
in it.
I believe that
Okay.
it's possible to control the weather.
Okay, I understand that, but that's so stupid to like try to test that out and in the like and
Also, like,
destroy so many people's homes, because that's a lot of monetary like stuff that got destroyed, and that's not something people are gonna get back.
There's
And
also
then-
But the
like all
thing
those
is-
the fires in California.
And all of this was happening. Yeah.
the
Okay.
wildfires in California were a laser that they were
Really?
testing
I was
out.
so upset. Are you
They
serious?
say
They say.
They say.
Yeah. We have a
These are
side
all
guest that no one
conspiracies.
is. She's not really talking, but she's agreeing with me.
somebody watches Shane Dawson.
Somebody.
Like that was so upsetting. A lot of people lost their homes, lost
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
things,
And-
and I mean,
I understand that the government wants to try new stuff out, but at the expense of people's lives.
That's why it doesn't seem logical, honestly, because that's.
But what
the
if
more
it wasn't?
paying,
What if
more
it
money
wasn't
they're
our government that was testing it out?
Do
What if
you
it was
really
another
think?
government?
Do you really think the United States
Russia.
would let another government? Yeah, if they even
But
got close.
It's not saying that they have to get close. All they have to do is put stuff into the air.
I mean, theoretically, yes. This is all theoretical. Because, like, what I was talking about were mostly conspiracies because of, like, different connections to different movies and, like, all of this stuff, you know? And things that, like, correlated to each other very oddly. And, like, yeah. Anyway, off topic a little bit. But the hurricanes were, like, a big devastation for everyone. And, like, it was very sad and stuff like that. And, please somebody stop me.
I mean, it was sad, but I kind of appreciated it because it brought so many people to help, and a lot of people like were willing to go out there and help rescue others, and they gave up their homes and like. I know Puerto Rico, how they've had like no electricity for
Some parts
a
still
long
don't.
time.
you know that last week, a bunch OG&E. OG&E, they sent like a lot of like trucks from here and to Puerto Rico, and they just got there like last week. I think it was like a Friday or something. Well, yeah, and they took the OG&E of Oklahoma and Fort Smith got together and they sent a bunch of trucks and through like seas and a bunch of crews. They flew over there, and now they're restoring the power. So I think that's really good.
That's really great. And like a lot of bad stuff has been bringing out good stuff, like Trump. Like so many people got together. You know, there was the Women's March, there was the DACA March. Like everyone was like has found a common enemy and like working towards the goal of making the United States a better place.
I mean, where does it stop though? I'm just gonna say this. I'm not for Trump. Just so that you know, I'm biased on this. But like, after it's all done, who are we gonna be attacking next? Because right now we have Trump, and that anger is there. What's gonna happen after that? Like, that's what scares me the most about the future. You know?
That's a good point, and I never thought about that. So.
It's
Impeaching a president makes the country vulnerable.
it does.
Well, I'm not
Because you have
saying
a time period
impeachment,
that,
but
like,
like
Can't make any good.
But if people don't listen to a president and they find something wrong with him, that's what's gonna happen.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, you know, voting. I mean, personally, we can't do this, but like people going out there and voting for congressmen, like senates who work for the people, because that like he will still be president, but he doesn't have the total power to control things, and like just giving your voice like makes you have some type of choice in who gets to vote for you or represent you. So like that's mostly what I'm saying, because like the polling numbers went so high because people were invested in this, and it's like been higher than it has been in many years.
Because usually the different things like Obama was the first African American president, even though he's white, and like he was the first one, and that got poll numbers up. I know that because that was a thing that a lot of people had their strong opinions about. And this one was mostly just like a tag race. Like
Yeah.
people just like Hillary and Trump was like brother and sister just making fun of each other. Like it was dumb. I think that's mostly why, because one, there was a lot of memes and like political like things like generated out of this, and people showed their opinions for the first time, and we actually had a voice. Because when was the last election?
2016 or 2012?
2012. Okay, so 2012, that was when I personally started actually looking at the internet, and I think that's when our generation was real big on it and like started to like rise up on it. And like this election, a lot of people had a voice, and I think that's what raised that a lot. And sometimes when people have a voice, it's not necessarily the best thing, you know, because like I forget where I was going with this. Like, but yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about that. Like, sometimes it's just not good.
Anyways,
So I forgot where I was going with this.
it's fine. I mean, anyways.
Okay. We're just gonna breeze through the other goods. Marriage equality in Australia.
That was
It's a
great.
win.
That was.
And the entire solar eclipse, even though we didn't get to see most of it because we live in a place where we couldn't really see a lot of it.
Yeah. It's not like a silver. It's okay.
I thought it was cool.
You want to bring up the bad?
Oh, let's talk about school shootings.
Let's
Shootings in general.
Yeah, let's do that. Because there's been a lot.
Yeah.
We're also going to bring up 2018s, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the big one that set that off was even like the Sandy Hook that happened, you know, years ago.
Yeah.
But that was like, you know, I think that's what like made this stuff big. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you knew they were happening, but no one really like acknowledged them until like the one Sandy Hook started, and then now it's like common, really.
Do you think it's possible that the only reason it wasn't really acknowledged was because, like, we were just too young to actually be looking at the news until a certain point that we actually started like listening to the news?
Well, I know that people made like big deals, and because they were of like the Columbine and Sandy Hook, and I remember like so many people were invested. I personally didn't talk about it, but like now that all these shootings have been going on, and like they talked to us, they're like the first times like people were actually reacting were the Columbine and Sandy Hook. So, and I don't remember that. So it's like they did it. Like like he said, they did that. The adults were actually acknowledging it and talking about it, but it was just that we were too young to understand.
Yeah, it's like the saying, do you ever think that the news is like worse every year you get older or something like that? And it's mostly because you're becoming more aware of what's actually
I
happening.
guess that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does.
And then, but now it's just, I think now it's even more though, like, it's becoming, like, more of, like, a common thing. Like, it happens now, like, you know what I mean? Like,
And people
like,
don't even bat an eye.
Right now, it's a joke. Like, people make it a joke.
Yeah.
Like, oh, better.
And like it's
And even
Do
though
not
we,
quote
like,
me on that.
and even though like that we realize what's happening like with these shootings, there's like some stuff that's being done to prevent them, but it's actually not helping because there's more shootings.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's come to the point where people like those first 2 hours after you read the news and you see it, you just like, oh darn it, like I feel bad, like all these people that died, and then you move on with your day. And like before, if this were to happen at the rate that it does and with as many people that get affected, it's just like it's whatever, people just kind of move on.
And kind of like there's nothing I can really do about it, so just go, continue to make jokes and
Yeah, it seems to be a common occurrence for people making jokes about things. The further we get with our generation, we start making jokes on things that shouldn't have jokes, but
It's a way to cope, honestly, for a lot of people. But then there's some people who just like,
But for others, it's not okay. Like, some things it's like some people get triggered by like the jokes and stuff. I'm not saying like personally, but like for me, one thing that I don't like is my cousin did commit suicide. But so when people make jokes about like suicide, when they're like, blah blah, blah, I'm just gonna kill myself, like just for like the stupid, like if you genuinely like you really have an issue where you're really not okay, like that's one thing. But when you're just like, oh, I don't want to do this homework, kill myself, like that frustrates me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't cope with that stuff. Like I just think it's like I'm like that's like rude. You know what I mean?
I feel like people don't truly understand like how until they're put in that situation. Until like it happens to them. Like okay, some people, let's say here, they probably think that shooting, like I can't do anything about it, it's not really affecting me. But what if one day it happens here? Like how are they gonna feel? They're gonna change that whole different aspect of what they're seeing it as.
Yeah, like our teacher, Miss A. She went through 9/11. She was like there when the planes hit the buildings and everything, and she still had PTSD like 4 years later. Like these things affect people no matter how deep you think they are, and it could come up like any day, and like something could happen here, and everyone's just not gonna know what to do, like because like the situation you're put in makes you learn from it, and a lot of our generation just thinks everything's a joke like that, and it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's the fact of how we're growing up right now in the internet age, where there's a whole lot of influence on us, and we're just like.
And honestly, she's one of the few teachers that like, whenever people start making jokes about stuff, she gets upset about it. Like, she has banned certain topics from the classroom because people bring it up trying to be funny, and it just like she doesn't like that. So, I mean.
okay. So we're gonna finish this talking about the government shutdown. So, who wants to start?
Me. I actually called the White House.
She did.
I really did.
Bye.
Welcome, principal.
So you actually called the White House?
Yeah. And they said, they had like a recording line, and it was like, I'm sorry, but our government is currently shut down. We cannot take your call at this time. And they started talking about how our troops weren't receiving funding and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of how like
I
everything
know,
was
and
shut
that's
down, and
kinda-
then they were like, our president is looking forward to making a decision, so
Mhm,
it
yeah.
could open back up and stuff.
I'm blaming the Democrats. God.
Yeah.
My brother's in the military, and so that's just like I
I
think
read
that's wrong.
somewhere.
Even if he wasn't, like people that like that stuff just kind of irks me.
I read somewhere that the reason that it shut down was because the people didn't want to talk about immigration, and they were going to talk about immigration in February, but instead of just letting them set a thing, they made it to where the government had to shut down.
And I read that it wasn't the Democrats' fault. It was actually the Republicans.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm not saying anything, but like, I know that a lot of people were just like, how can that happen if they're the ones? Like it's one of those things that they had the favor because they outnumber. They hold majority seat, and they still caused it to shut down. So I think it must have been like really, really deep and like into detail for it to happen because, and I'm sure it wasn't just their fault. It was like probably everyone, but like it had to be a pretty good reason for shutting down. But like
Yeah.
now for shutting down for like 3 days, I saw a whole bunch of people saying like, I better not see any taxes taken out of my check for those 3 days since the government wasn't working. It's like it's true.
Do you think that really happened?
I mean, I don't know, but like
Did people have to pay taxes for the
The estate tax?
had to
oh.
well, state tax doesn't, like, whenever the government shuts down, since the U.S. government is in charge of the states, wouldn't state
Right.
government shut down?
Yeah, the state government's shut down too, but like the thing is, the reason they take taxes is that say they can pay our government leaders. So if the leaders are not working because the government is shut down, where's that money going to?
Did anyone realize if they like went to the store and like bought something and
Yeah, because I bought something the other day, and it was $2, but it was $2.20 for the tax.
Dang.
so they
Yeah,
were
there were
charging-
taxes on like McDonald's and stuff like that when I went to eat.
Yeah,
So now I'm
so
hungry.
Like,
where
Oh.
did that money go?
What if it's not actually taxes and McDonald's just wants to take your money?
We're gonna have to bang it out.
Like, we've been taking your taxes. Doesn't have to go anywhere, but we're taking
We
it.
just take
thank you. It's a donation. But the thing with our troops not getting funding, like that's crap. Honestly, like you must have had money stored away for them because they're in such like a bad condition right now,
But Teacher
know?
T said that they were still doing stuff.
which is confusing.
I know.
It's like, how bad do you want to start a war? Like,
They have a lot of money
Yeah, and
for perfectly set aside for the military.
there is
like-
no way they were not like just gonna like stop giving money
yeah.
immediately.
It's not like they even technically even do anything for people that are in the military, because if they did, Veterans Affairs would be a lot better to contact.
Here. Anyway, yeah.
But the government shutdown, it happened because of just ignorance and people not agreeing.
Yeah.
And it's just dumb. Is that it?
Yeah, let's end it.
Thank you for listening. This has been Coffee Break. And hope you have a wonderful day.